riding into Jerusalem on a donkey. There were throngs of people cheering. Their deepest hopes for change rise up in them at the sight of Jesus, this man. They all have different stories about him too. He heals and he comforts us. He stands up to the powers that be. He teaches us the way we should live. Hosanna! God save us! He will save us. But then we step just behind the crowd and all those parade goers, and we start to see a little bit of a different picture. There are some uneasy whispers that seep out from the cracks in the backdrop. He's a radical. He's threatening the uneasy peace that we enjoy. He's undermining the authority of our religion. He will destroy us. So what first appears as something really good to shout out about turns into pointing fingers and hissing. Jesus saw it coming, but his followers wouldn't. They couldn't. No way could it all turn on them. But it did. Betrayal, arrest, death, fear. It makes despair sink coldly into the hearts of Jesus' followers, where once they gathered crowds and they shared the good news, they now crouch behind closed windows and locked doors. One at a time, they would furtively venture out just to find some of the basic goods they needed to get by. It was a dark time. They had each other, and they had the memories of all they shared. Any of this sound familiar to you? Isn't this sort of what's happening today, except maybe without the parade? We were going about our daily lives, and now we're sequestered. I think that our observance of Holy Week this year is going to be a lot more than an intellectual one, because we're living it. We're living it. Maya Angelou wrote, if you can't change a thing, change the way you think about it. If you can't change a thing, change the way you think about it. Think about living Holy Week. Tell God what's on your mind. Lament. Get it all out there. And when you run out of words, turn to Psalm 31. Join your voice with the psalmist who cries out, "Be gracious to me, O God, for I am in distress." And pause a moment and remember, I trust you, O Lord. You can say, you are my God. My times are in your hand. Deliver me from the unseen hands that can hurt and destroy. And while we wait, let your face shine upon us. Hosanna, God save us in your steadfast love. I changed those words a little bit from the original psalmist's words, but I think we get the point. God save us. Hosanna. That's right. And that is how our day begins with hosannas. We shout out to God, for God will save us. And with God at our side, we now walk through the streets of Jerusalem. We gather up what food we can find to share a last meal with our brother Jesus. Our feet and our hands will be washed again. We'll enter the dark of the garden in Gethsemane, and fail to pray with him. One of us will betray him, and he will be taken from our sight. And we will be scattered. We are scattered, not able to look into each other's eyes. And we will know how Peter felt, how James and John felt, how Thomas felt, how they all felt. We know. We know how it feels now, don't we? And so we're left with this feeling. Sit with it. Sit with it. And as we sit, frustration mingled maybe with a little fear or just confusion and anxiety, if we sit with it, we know we can't change. We can't change anything. We can't change what's happening. Then we remember something in that last meal that we shared with Jesus. There was something that he said when he was talking to us, and it tickles our memories. There's a hint of something that he said. We picture it in our mind's eye. We see Jesus lifting up the bread and blessing it. And then his eyes meet ours as he breaks off a piece of bread and hands it to each of us. And when he says, take it, take this, eat, this is my body. And we do. And then there was that cup, just one cup for all of us. Something about that cup. Drink from it, all of you, he said. For this is my blood of the covenant, which is poured out for many for the forgiveness of sins. I tell you, I will never drink of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. Until that day. Until that day. That's what it was. Until that day, it means we will drink it new with him. It doesn't end here. He gave us the cup and promised that we would drink it together. You know what he gave us? He gave us hope. He gave us hope. Hope is the power to move from tragedy to strength. Hope gives us the wisdom to look at our past and the grace to accept something new is happening. And to do something new. Hope is believing, in spite of all the evidence to the contrary, that something new, something better, something powerful is yet to come. So all those old practices, old assumptions, they're being challenged, and we're still trying to figure out what it all means. That road out of Jerusalem still is a little indistinct and maybe looks a little scary up ahead. But what Jesus gives us in that sharing of the bread and the cup is a promise that he will drink it together with us, that we will drink it together with each other. And it gives us hope. It's something to hold on to. And that hope will help us make the changes that we need to so that our future will be better. So this week, remembering those 3 little words, until that day, I invite you to sit with all the feelings that we have of this Holy Week. And as we journey, there will be signs pointing the way. Watch for them. And we journey and we sing together, Hosanna, God save us. And as we journey, we will walk the road out of Jerusalem together, someday soon. But until that day, hold on to the promise that Jesus gives us, the promise of hope.